Well, they say that the future can be shaped by understanding the past, and up until today there's no denying Bernie Ecclestone's impact on Formula One. Love him or loathe him, it won't be the same around here without him.
It's the very secret of a good deal that a good deal of it remains very secret. Even those who dealt and dealt well with him don't know how he did what he did. It's paid as a compliment. It's held as a suspicion. All part of the mystery of being Bernie Ecclestone. We could start with him selling cars or riding bikes, or even being the son of a fisherman. But if we take the day he bought Brabham as the starting point, that's well over 50 years in Formula One. Not literally in the driving seat, but in the hot seat. He was the driving force in Formula One for half a century.
Bernie, it's some 17 years since you bought McLaren. You've had some good times and you've had some bad times. What do you remember best?
I don't remember buying McLaren.
And so it grew, this life of Bernie. Friends were made along the way. There'd be the odd foe as well. The battle for control at the FIA. Not so much racing against Jean-Marie Balestre as sailing the high seas, with a little bit of piracy. Bernie and Max Mosley, the swashbuckling years. Nobody could do a deal quite like Bernie. Nobody laced and unlaced the Formula One alphabet spaghetti of FIA, FISA and FOCA quite like him. There were some scrapes along the way, and it wasn't all plain sailing. A court case in Germany threatened to bring the house down. It's been a marathon driven at breakneck speed, a sometimes smooth as silk, often seat of your pants daredevil drive that stormed through the ages of motorsport.
Nico Rosberg is the world champion!
Pioneer, pirate, pace setter extraordinaire. This is the Formula One world that he made, that he now leaves, keeping his secrets.
That's a fabulous piece, a legend on a legend. A word on Bernie, boys?
Yeah, well, for me, you know, he was a brutal negotiator, businessman, loved to hustle, loved to do a deal, salesman, all those things, but he still loved Formula One. He was a racer. He came through with that. That was his club. We saw all the boys that he used to hang out with. So there was a real sort of mixture of how he went about his business, I suppose, and I think it was a bit of a shock that he's out now. He was a bit of a shock, and the legacy will roll on to a degree, but we have got a changing in the guard, and that's the way it's going to be.
Absolutely. You're going to miss him, DC?
Absolutely. And what I think we have to be really mindful of the fact is that anyone else could control the teams in the way that he was able to. You know, he was the master of divide and conquer. And whenever there was anyone trying to, with the Grand Prix, with the team association, things like that, eventually he just broke them down. So it's going to be very interesting to see how new Form deal with that aspect of the business.
Real quick one, David and I had a chat, it was around super licenses back in the day, and Max Mosley and Bernie had a meeting with us, and he said, don't you guys ever make a threat you're not going to follow through with. It's like, all right, Bernie, calm down. We're not going to do a boycott. We can't get our stuff together.
Bernie always followed through on his threats.
Yes.
A little bit cruel as well, mind you. Imagine being forced to retire with only £2.5 billion in the bank.
It's tough, mate. I mean, you couldn't spend that in Wales, could you?
That used to be a lot of money.